I've been muted this whole time. I just realized that. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, welcome. Anyway, so at the very front of our channel or of the live stream, make sure to check out all of our electrical stuff that we do use. Our My Elgato face cam and the Blue Yeti mic, very handy, especially since we do podcasts. And I promise we usually have our sound on. I was so prepared today. Okay, so we're going to go through a ton of books. Some of these I have read, some of them I have not read. I just want to give you a whole list of different kinds of novels for different kinds of readers, including different age groups too. You can see we have a couple of cute little kids' books that I want to share with you. There's some graphic novels, some manga here. You got to have Junji Ito for the spooky season. And then some nonfiction reads. So there's a ton of different things here for every kind of spooky reader out there. And we're going to get started with this anthology book, which I have been anticipating. I've been waiting to read it. And it might be this weekend, might be the weekend to sit down and read it. I know it's like I'm having a Halloween party. When am I going to have time to read this? It's huge, but it's an anthology. This right now is 18% off, so $32.76. As you can see, it's a pretty big chunker of a book, but it's well worth it. And I think witch books you can read them throughout the entire year. If you do tune into our podcast, you know we read witchy books a lot. So this podcast, or sorry, not this podcast, this live stream, we're going to talk about books that you can read all year round. It doesn't have to be during the spooky season, but of course it is Halloween time. So we're definitely going to be focusing on some of those today. So the Book of Witches. This is an anthology of different kinds of witches. Witches and folk tales. We know them from like Shakespeare. We know them from the play Wicked. We know witches from all kinds of folk tales. It's one of the like creatures or personas. It's just something we've always had a fascination with throughout human history. And we have a variety of authors who contributed. Garth Nix, huge name. Cassandra Khaw. I do have a Cassandra Khaw book right here that I'm going to go through today. We have some people I've never heard of. Andrea Hairston, Aaliyah Dawn Johnson. We have, let's see, Linda D. Addison, C.L. Clark. Lots of contributors to this. There's not just stories, but there's poems too. Want to flip through it. I thought I saw photos, but maybe not. I can kind of read a few things in here. So it says here, this is by Kathleen Jennings. It says, Catechism for those who would find witches. This is really interesting how this one's written out. It looks like a Word document or just like a study. I do see like one tiny photo in here. This book is for adults, by the way. So it's like a Q&A session that you're reading through. It says, why are witches sought and by whom? The answer is, witches are sought by few. This is for 3 reasons. First, thanks to the good offices of those who hunt them, witches are believed to be vanishingly rare. So we also have a question. Are you nevertheless prepared to inquire further? I am. So we have this whole story here. Let's see if I can find some more photos in here. But while I'm seeking some more photos, this book is great for anybody who likes witches, various witches too. So that includes good ones, the evil ones. The ones are more like creatures, naturey witches, even more futuristic witches. So this is a ton of cool witch stories for anybody out there that loves just witch stuff. And it's an anthology, so it parses it down so that everything is just easier. I know the holiday season can be super packed for people, and I love anthologies exactly for that reason. So check out the Book of Witches. It's got a lot of amazing authors in here and very cool stories. I personally am very excited to check this one out more. I'm going to put this one down here, actually. Okay, so the next book that I want to share with you today, let me get my comments up. I haven't welcomed everybody here. So the other one that I want to talk about, this one's a nonfiction. It's 22% off today. Let me get my screens all fixed. Here we go. It is called The Underworld. So this one's different. This one's a dark read in a way that our author, Susan Casey, is a diver, and she's gone all around the world and explored many different kinds of oceans, and it explores like the depths of the ocean alongside with literary folk tales, a bunch of stories about the underworld, myths, history, and how that all reflects in the ocean itself, like the actual ocean. So here we do have some photos, mostly geography. We do get to see her some of the discoveries she's made in her deep sea exploration. We have this says a conglomeration of monsters that may be found. So here, I'll give you a close-up of that. That's pretty cool, right? What I love the ocean. So for those of you that have just joined me today, we're talking about the underworld journeys to the ocean, or to the depths of the ocean. This is a nonfiction read. I like to read nonfiction reads during I guess the darker months, just because it just is cozier. I can spend more time with it. So I love the water and the ocean, but it's like a fear/respect thing. I know how spooky it is, and I acknowledge it, and I'm not going to take advantage of the ocean and think, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, because the ocean is not predictable. So I think the ocean has a lot of interesting things that we don't know about. So we see a lot of photos in here of her deep sea exploration, some creatures even. It's some cool stuff. So I love that she, side by side, her just the actual biology, the geography of the ocean, she uses mythology and talks about the underworld stories with this book. It's a very cool nonfiction, and I can't wait to read it. And I like that we do get some photos that talk about these places. They're mystifying and beautiful. So check this one out too. This is called The Underworld, Journeys to the Depths of the Ocean. You might be somebody who's afraid of the ocean, and for a good reason. This would be a good way to explain it to people. All right. So our next book, this one's definitely perfect for the spooky season. It's Tuesday, so you could probably get it before Halloween and at least start diving into it. This is called A Haunting on the Hill. This is by the one and only Elizabeth Hand. I have not read this one yet, but she's the only person who's been able to write a offshoot of Shirley Jackson's the Haunting on the House of the Hill, or I can't remember. There's so many variations of that, movies and books. Anyway, so Shirley Jackson's Haunting on Hill House or whatever. So Elizabeth Hand has finally been able to like do some other story associated with it. So it's really cool that she's been able to. If you like spooky haunted houses, if you like Shirley Jackson at all, this is definitely going to be the read for you. It's definitely the big anticipated read. So let me read what the sleeve has to say. I apologize. I have not read it yet. I can't give you a full Katie review on it, but there are books here that I have read. So stay tuned for that. Hey, Jessica. Nice to see you again. We're just talking about books today, like spooky reads, not just for Halloween, but for all of, wintertime, fall, just some really great reads for kids, adults, YA, nonfiction, that sort of thing. So here's what it says. Holly Sherwin has been a struggling playwright for years, but now after receiving a grant to develop her play Witching Night, she may finally be close to her big break. All she needs is time and space to bring her vision to life. When she stumbles across Hill House on a weekend getaway upstate, she is immediately taken in by the mansion, nearly hidden outside a remote village. It's enormous, old, and ever so eerie, the perfect place to develop and rehearse her play. Despite her own hesitations, Holly's girlfriend Nisa agrees to join Holly in renting the house for a month, and soon a troupe of actors, each with ghosts of their own, arrive. Yet, as they settle in, the house's peculiarities are made known. Strange creatures stalk the grounds, disturbing sounds echo through the halls, and time itself seems to shift. So this is what this book is about. Elizabeth Hand had the opportunity to actually, for the first time ever, do a variation or a offshoot of Shirley Jackson's world of the Hill House. So if you're looking for a spooky read, check this one out. All right. So, next book I have read. This is Vampires of El Norte. Let me find it on my shelf because I do have a ton of books here. So, this is by Isabel Cañas, who's also done. Oh no, it just lost my brain. What else did she do? I haven't read it yet, but I've heard really good things about it. The Hacienda. That's what it is. Okay, so Vampires El Norte is a beautiful southwestern story that takes place during the Mexican Revolution. We have a village who has these curionda, I can't say this properly, curers or healers, and our main character has been trained to do that. Their town is not only plagued by settlers, but there's strange creatures lurking about, vampires. So not only that, there's this romance that's going on between one of the healer main characters in here, and then the her childhood best friend. So I don't want to spoil this book too much, but I wanted to let you know this is definitely more of a romance novel with a bit of a macabre streak. The vampires, though, I have to say, Isabel Cañas has the most refreshing, unique take on a vampire I have seen in a really long time. Like, it's very good. It's not as spooky as I wanted it to be, but it's wholesome. It's dark. It is a little gory, but it's not too much, but it's a really great overall wintertime read. A lot of the stuff that takes place happens at nighttime. It's dark, but it's still kind of comfy, cozy because there is that high amount of romance, but it's really well written. I highly recommend it if you are into that. If you're just looking for a jump scare, this is not the book for you, but it's very good. I highly recommend Vampires of El Norte. Beautiful writer. Isabel Cañas is awesome, and I have to read The Hacienda. I really do. I've never been a huge fan of Westerns, but this one is really good. I'm starting to like them because of Isabel Cañas and other authors that are like doing spooky Westerns. So check this one out. Okay, we're going to skip a little bit because I added a ton of books that I have read. Let's look at this kid's book because we've talked a lot about adult reads. Here, let's put this one here. Actually, I'm going to put this one in here. So here's a few kids reads. They're adorable, perfect for the spooky season. This one's $8.99. It's very precious, very Halloween, as you can tell. It's kind of big, and it would store really well too. Just be careful if you do have like super tiny children around. They might rip out the pages because it is a little, it's a little flimsy. It's not a hardcover. So let's look at it. It's so cute already. I love it. Okay, Ghosts in the House is by Kazuno Kohara. So precious. Okay, once there was a girl who went to live in an old big house at the edge of town. It was a splendid place, but there was one problem. The house was, I bet all of you can guess what this house was. If it's not this, haunted. That's cute. Wow, I really love what they did with this ghost. You can actually see through it. So cute. Okay, I'll read a few more pages so that you get the gist. But the girl wasn't just a girl. She was a witch. Okay, I love this. She's like, you know what? No ghost can scare me. Oh my gosh, look at him. She knew how to catch ghosts. Oh my God, this cat is adorable. I think this cat is wearing a costume too. How lovely, she said. I hope there are some more. Oh my gosh, that's funny. She could be like a witch exorcist. Anyway, so if you're looking for a fun, adorable read for the kiddos during Halloween time, this one's really simple. I love the palette. It's clearly screams Halloween, but it's really cute, approachable, perfect. So you know, even if it has spooky themes, but it makes it nice. So this is Ghosts in the House. This is by Kazuno Kohara. I love this. I can't wait to read this to my nephew. So precious. Okay, so let's talk about a graphic novel. I have a few on this list. This one, though, is one of my favorite ones that I do like to read during pretty much all year round because it just, I don't know, it's just perfect. We have Emily Carroll's Through the Woods. She is a really great contemporary folktale author. Like, she's done an amazing job creating these tales that really feel like folk tales, that even sound like folk tales when you read them out loud. They just have a rhythm to it. And the stories are very unique and they're different and they're just like a slow burn kind of creepy. So here is what the photos look like. Sorry about my mic. I need to move. I need to move my stuff. Okay. So here you can see clearly it is spooky, but the art is still kind of approachable and adorable. Like, it's a little cartoony, but and some of the colors even are a little pastel and just, I don't know, it, which makes it a little more off-putting because it's like, oh, I'm anticipating just this really adorable kind of spooky story, but then it ends up being very terrifying. I mean, look at that. It's just, yeah, like, I don't know. There's something about this art with the story that's really good. So, Through the Woods, it has 5 stories, I believe, in here. I'm a huge fan of anthologies most of the year, but at least during the holiday season, there's not a whole lot of time for me to actually sit down and read like a chunky novel. So I do like anthologies. Oh, I'm not even correct at all. There's 6 different stories, but I like being able to take small little stories, especially like right before bedtime, you know, just cuddling in for the night. And then reading a spooky story. This would be perfect for that. There's 6 awesome stories in here, and it's in a graphic novel form, and they are very creepy. Some of them are way creepier than others. Some of them would be maybe a little goofy. I'm not going to summarize every single one because we have a ton of books to go through, but some of them are very visceral, and yeah, highly recommend. So if you're looking for a really fun graphic novel that honestly is great to pick up every once in a while throughout the year, this is a Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. And check out some of Emily Carroll's other stuff. She just published a new graphic novel. I think it's called like The Stranger Up the Stairs. Also really good. This is 29% off right now, so $17.74 for a fairly big graphic novel. Hi, Sean. I'm glad you caught the stream too. Okay, so my next book that we're going to talk about super fast, because I do have a lot of books. This one I haven't read yet, but it cracks me up. It's on my library list, and I don't know about you. I don't know if any of you guys have library holds like we do, but I get all of my library holds all at one time. And I'm like, I can't read them all within this tiny little portion of time. Oh, I loved your apothecary altar, and the newspaper was really, really cool. It's crazy, like, how much text. I felt like such a not a new person, it was like a modern thing where the text these days is huge. Even in more modern, like in the 90s, newspapers just had a bigger text than they did back then. I'm like, holy crap, did these guys have like awesome eyes? Because I don't. Anyway, and that apothecary altar is really cool. Anyway, so here's Cutting Teeth. This is a dark humor book by Chandler Baker. I'm going to read to you what it says. This is going to be super funny. I'm excited for this to finally be on my holds. I'm having an ADHD day. I apologize. Okay. Children can really bleed you dry. Darby feels like the past 5 years of her life have been devoted to nothing but her children, and she isn't sure she can take one more spilled sippy cup or wild tantrum. She and her best mommy friends, Mary Beth and Rhea, are on personal quests to reclaim aspects of their identities subsumed by motherhood. That includes their careers, their sex lives, and their bodies. Their children, though, disrupt their plans when, along with the unusual sniffle or the usual sniffles and colds, an unsettling medical condition begins to go around the little academy preschool. The kids are craving blood. Then a teacher is found dead, and the only potential witnesses are 10 adorable, sweet, gap-toothed, blood-sucking 4-year-olds. Soon it becomes clear that the children are not just witnesses to the death, but are also suspects, and so are their secret-keeping mothers. As the police begin to look more closely, the children's ability to bleed their parents dry becomes deadly serious. This I'm excited to read because it sounds hysterical. I love dark humor, and I like just really odd stories. Sometimes I just need a weird, quirky story, and this is probably going to be it. So this is Cutting Teeth. This is 32% off, $18.99. If you're looking for a laugh with tiny baby vampires, check out this book. And this cover is also pretty fun. Very clever. I adore it. Okay. So next on our list today, let me see. We have Camp Damascus. So this one is apparent. Where are you? Here you are. So Camp Damascus is apparently, my whole world is coming apart. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I hope you enjoyed my fall. Okay. So Camp Damascus, this is by Chuck Tingle. This one was a book that started off so strong. It's not very big. It's a afternoon kind of read, in my opinion. But here are some issues with this novel for me. It ended up, I feel like, devolving a little bit. It was just so good in the beginning. I'm really upset. So the story is about a character, a girl who has gone through a gay conversion camp. She doesn't remember she did, but eventually she learns that she did. But it ends up becoming a very literal metaphor for chasing away your demons, apparently, or trying to battle your demons. It's a pretty good read. Chuck Tingle does a really good job. This is his debut horror novel, and this ends up reading a little like a YA book over time. So I would say this is for an older, maybe they call them new adult reads. So that might be something worth checking into, but it turns into kind of a monster hunting novel, in my opinion. So if that's something that's up your alley, I think this would be a really cool book for younger readers. This is $16.56 right now, 36% off today. But it's a fairly decent read, and the cover is pretty cool. So this is Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. I actually watched him speak at a bookstore. It was an accident. I was just looking for books. I was picking up his book, and he just happened to be there. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it was really cool to listen to him speak and learn how he created a monster and what that looks like. So he's a pretty awesome person. Check this out. This is Camp Damascus. Let me tell you about a book that I did read, though. Oh, I did read Camp Damascus. Sorry, I don't know why my brain is losing its mind. Fever House. Okay, I was thinking of Fever House because it's got a very similar aesthetic as myself and Camp Damascus a little bit. So, when Carrie and I did our podcast episode, which, by the way, you can find that in our carousel, or not our carousel, but this little banner down here. We're at darksideofthelibrary.com. You can find it on your favorite listening app. So we were going over, I think it was September or August, fiction reads for adults. And this description had Carrie and I rolling. It was hysterical. I don't know if that was meant to be that way, but some dark reads can be so ridiculous in a great way or not. It kind of depends. So Fever House looks awesome. I'll read what the sleeve has to say for you. It says, Pulp Fiction meets a punk rock Da Vinci Code. Already we're off to a really awesome start. Okay, so it's $13.99 right now. It's a pretty large book. Let's look at it. It says, when leg breaker Hutch halts, rolls up to a rundown apartment complex in Portland, Oregon. To collect overdue drug money, a severed hand is the last thing he expects to find stashed in the client's refrigerator. Hutch quickly realizes that the hand induces uncontrollable madness. Anyone in its proximity is overcome with a boundless compulsion for violence. Within hours, catastrophic forces are set into motion. Dark op government agents who have been desperately hunting for the hand are on Hutch's tail. More of the city's residents fall under its brutal influence, and suddenly all of Portland stands at the precipice of disaster. That's just one paragraph, by the way. We won't go any further, but you can see this book is just sheer madness and chaos. It's crazy. So if you're looking for something like that, this feels like a fever dream. This is Fever House. I have yet to read this. I do like the random blood splatters at the beginning of each chapter. It's quite a nice touch. But if you're looking for a chunker of a read, maybe you've got some time off coming up, this might be a really fun one for you. It's Fever House, $13.99. Even though it sounds ridiculous, there's a ton of people that have been like, oh man, this looks great. Like Elizabeth Hand, Alma Katsu. I have a lot of respect for Alma Katsu. Haley Piper, Richard Price. So, I got to give it a try. I can't just judge a book by its description. I love the cover. Okay, so next on our list, let's show you a kid's book. Isn't Portland where the TV show Grimm was based? Was it? I only know Portlandia, which obviously is Portland. Is Grimm based in Portland? It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Okay, let's look at this really cute. Okay, this book is so cute. It's uncontrollably, I can't speak. It's too adorable. Okay. Oh, it's called Luna Oscura. Okay, so I know this isn't super dark. A lot of kids' spooky books aren't. This would be great, not just for Halloween. You could have it for all year round, truly. It's just really nice during a Halloween. It's got a lot of cottagecore vibes. So it's about a cute little community of cats. But we have a black cat named Luna who's ostracized by the community of cats because of all of the superstitious beliefs. But Luna realizes she's very special, of course. So let's look at this together. I'll read a little bit. So one thing that's really great is we have a Spanish and English translation here. I love that because I, to be perfectly honest, I am trying to learn Spanish myself. So it's a really great learning tool for me as an adult, but it'd be great for kids too. So here's what it says. Deep in the forest, there lives a community of cats. Look at them. They are so cute. Okay, I'll try to contain myself. We have these cats come in all coats and colors. They live here until they find their forever home. And then we have Luna. That's Luna. She's shy. She's the only black cat in this community. My cat Luna is also shy. She's not black. She's a tortie, but she's close. Sometimes the other cats pick on her for having such a dark and mysterious coat. Jerks. Stay away. You're bad luck. No stripes, no spots, just a dull coat color. What? You guys are so mean. You guys are cute, but you're evil. Luna has a cute little frog friend who then turns her into this magical cat. And you will see, I don't want to show all of it, but you can tell this cat book is precious. So if you have a kid who loves cats, who loves kind of like the spooky season or spooky vibes, maybe you guys have a black cat, definitely check this out. It's just a really awesome, and it's just a great story. I know when I was a kid, I was ostracized for, kids come up with all kinds of reasons to be a jerk to you. So it's just a relatable book. Then you can find, the message is you can figure out what special things you can contribute and why you're so awesome. through this awesome cute cat, Luna. So check this out. Luna Oscura. It's precious. 23% off. $15.39 right now. Get it. Get it. It's so good. Okay. I'm going to show you a cookbook real fast. We have been, let me put you back, Luna. So pretty. I know I should probably give that to my niece or at least read it to her, but I am a little greedy and I want it for myself. Okay, so we have this cooking group that we've been doing all month long of October. So we'll probably be doing similar things throughout the year. If you do like spooky reads and spooky books, make sure to follow us, comment, etc. You can follow us on our socials as well. It really helps. And you can join us for things like this. This is the Hocus Pocus official cookbook. All month we've been cooking out of this, or at least I have. I've been attempting to. Unfortunately, our kitchen is still in the middle of a remodel. It's kind of the messier parts we're tiling. I was going to live stream a few of these, but there just was no space for that. Maybe the next time we do one, we will, we will do a live stream and I'll show you that I do cook these dishes, but you can find all of that in our Facebook group. Anyway. Oh, sorry, Sean. Okay, so let's see. The show was based in Portland. So Grimm was based in Portland. And then one of our cats is a tortie too. I love torties. I really think they're some of the best cats. And then Sean also says, I am marking myself safe from never seeing Hocus Pocus. I saw Hocus Pocus for the first time 2 years ago, I think. And I have still not seen the second movie, just the first one. So I guess I'm half safe. It's a pretty decent movie for Disney. It's stupid, but it's great. Okay. Hocus Pocus official cookbook. I'll let you know which dishes I have made and then what I think of the cookbook generally, but I wanted to share with you what is in here. If you're looking for some last minute ideas, this cookbook would be really helpful too for Halloween in general. It doesn't have to be Hocus Pocus oriented, but you can kind of see there's a lot of photos in here, which makes it, I think, more approachable, especially for a Halloween cookbook in general. Because a lot of times they're like, oh yeah, put this thing, this pretzel stick on the top of the meatball. And I'm like, okay, but it doesn't look anything like you say it's supposed to look. So here's our little table of contents here. It's got a lot of great savory dishes. It's not just sweet dishes. That's another thing that I see with Halloween cookbooks that can be very frustrating, is that I don't want to just eat sugar all day. Yes, I know. Weird. I like savory dishes more personally, and it's hard to find good Halloween savory dishes, but they're amping it up. These have recipes that are very difficult to super easy. Like this is super simple. So if you are really busy and having a hectic Halloween, it seems like a lot of people are, you can go through this and find some really easy recipes. Or if you have the time to spend with a dish, you can do that too. So I've been wanting to make this recipe just in general, and I probably will throughout, sometime in the year. It doesn't have to be Halloween. Mrs. Dennison's roasted pumpkin tacos. I mean, what's not to love there? We have here, this is a Winifred's Guts for Garter's Squash. I mean, yeah. I made for the first time, actually. So this cookbook has introduced me and forced me to make things that I ordinarily, or I've just been too scared to make. Where is it? I made gnocchi for the first time using this cookbook. There's no picture for it. So I guess it doesn't matter, but it's gnocchi, which was really fun to make out of here. And the instructions were so easy to follow. Here we have mummy roll-ups. Let me see if I can find this gnocchi. I can't remember. Here it is. Graveyard gnocchi grubs. I altered it a little bit, and I used gorgonzola because I love gorgonzola. So I made a kind of a different sauce, but I was shocked. They broke this down. It's gluten-free. You can see all the recipes have all of these, it marks all of the dietary restrictions, the difficulty level. It's pretty nice. We have desserts in here, of course. Thackeray Binks treats. Let's do a few of these, and I'll share with you the ones that I did do. Broomstick and other transport treats. I did the popping candy. We have puffed rice potion bottles. This is really fun. The other one, so the one that I did that I've never done before, I made the bonjour, God, that's so American of me, creme brulee. And I've never made creme brulee. I don't even own a torch, but they have instructions here on how you can make creme brulee without a torch. And it was super successful. I was shocked. So yeah, this is a great cookbook that just even introduces people to different kinds of techniques that might seem intimidating, but because it's a hocus pocus cookbook, it makes it super fun. So check this one out. Join us for our cook-alongs. If we ever do another one, we might, because I do have a Nightmare Before Christmas baking book. So yeah, we'd love to see you there. And of course, for future book stuff. So not necessarily cooking, not all of us cook, but it might be fun. All right, so the next book I'm going to talk about today is, Silver Nitrate. So this one I'm showing it to you because I love Silvia Moreno Garcia a lot, but this one did not hit me. I'm not sure this one was not my favorite of her groups of books, but it might be somebody else's favorite. Silvia has a really great writing style. All of her characters are really fun, but for some reason this just didn't stick very well, so I DNF'd it. But that doesn't mean I'm discouraging you from reading it. So it just wasn't for me. So let me share with you. Ooh, again, hitting my mic. Let me share with you the sleeve, what it actually says. So it says, Montserrat has always been overlooked. She has a talented sound editor, but she's left out of the boys club running the film industry in the 90s, Mexico City. So keep that in mind. The setting is in the 90s in Mexico City. I always had to kind of revert back to that a little bit. Then we have Tristan, who discovers that his new neighbor is the cult horror director, Urueta, and the legendary Artur claims that he can change their lives, even if his tale of a Nazi occultist imbuing magic into highly volatile silver nitrate stock sounds like sheer fantasy. The magic film was never finished, which is why Urueta swears his career vanished overnight and that he's cursed. Now the director wants Montserrat and Tristan to help him shoot the missing scene and lift the curse, but she soon notices a dark presence following her, and Tristan begins seeing the ghost of his ex-girlfriend. So I actually stopped around this time, like where Tristan sees his ex-girlfriend. And like, it was spooky when I was reading it. I was like, wow, this is really, really great. But my problem was this became a little info dumping, a lot about sound editing. I thought it was great that Silvia has been researching sound editing so much where she's able to like tell us what the process is, but it was just too much for me. But overall, this is fun. If you like this kind of vibe, I am really into Silvia's book. This one just didn't stick with me, but it might for you. And it's 50% off right now. This is $13.99, and it has a very different story. Cursed footage, director, friend, like long-term childhood friends, probably to lovers is kind of what I was getting. Like, that's what the message was seeming like it was going to, but it might not. Who knows? Anyway, so this is Silver Nitrate by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Check out her other stuff too. I liked, oh my gosh, I've read so many. I mean, obviously Mexican Gothic is like big, awesome, but she's done a lot of really great stuff. So I do recommend just checking out her work in general. Okay. Next up, let's see. We have, The Witching Year. Here's a nonfiction. I've been talking a lot about all of these fiction reads. Let me share with you a fiction or nonfiction read. I hope it got added to my carousel. Give me a second here. I apologize. I did add like a ton of books. Oh my gosh, it didn't add. I'm going to add it real fast. It shouldn't take too long. But here's the cover of it. Just so you're aware, it's a new nonfiction release. It's kind of a memoir. So it's called The Witching. Oh, it is a memoir. Not kind of. Look at my passive language. The Witching Year. This is by Diana Helmuth. Let me find it real fast. The Witching Year. So what this book is about and why I picked this one up personally is because if you are somebody that is experimenting with New Age spiritualism and you have maybe noticed that it can be very confusing, this book is totally for you. It's not just for people that are new and experimenting with things like Wicca, but it's great for solo practitioners as well. It talks about things like all of the random things that people have come up with. So there was one that I've actually never heard of before that I thought it was hilarious. Summoning an ancient demon with scotch tape and a kitchen trivet. So this memoir is about all of the things that she has confronted and seen in the community, what things might have worked for her, things that haven't worked for her in her practice. But it also does explain things like there is some gatekeeping in the community. Some people don't even know the actual history of some of the Celtic holidays. People aren't necessarily as open or community driven, but they seem like they are. So if you want something that maybe is relatable, if you're a little witchy or you're trying to get into that whole community, or maybe you are a part of the community, you'll probably get a kick out of this. And it's insightful, it's funny, it's endearing. This is The Witching Year. It's really cute. And this is now officially, if you weren't looking, it's in the carousel now. It's 11% off. It's $24.82. This came out, I think it actually came out in late September or October. It's perfect if you are doing like a Samhain celebration or something, and you are trying to get into more of that whole thing, the vibe. So Witching Year, it's cute. Check it out. We're going to talk about Slewfoot now. This one isn't a new release, but it has become an easy fall favorite of mine, at least. Where are you, Slewfoot? Here you are. So Brom is an artist. He's done art for like D&D, I think a lot of different Wizards of the Coast projects. I mean, the cover is Brom's. He does a lot of dark fantasy art in particular, and he also writes. So he's done a few novels, and Slewfoot is definitely this beautiful autumnal story that takes place in a Puritan America in like Massachusetts. So we have this main character. Let me see if I can remember a few bits of this. Abatha, of course, her name is Abatha. Things happen. You're a lady, and she's kind of a hot-headed woman. Her husband dies a mysterious death, and her brother, because according to law, now has ownership over Abatha. She's trying desperately not to make this happen, so she makes a pact with the devil. But it has a lot of really cool folklore tales, and I think Brom has done some research into some of the native culture gods or spirits that may have lived or still do live in Massachusetts, and incorporated this into this story, and it's very fun. We also have Brom's art throughout this story and some big art. So here's our main character, Abatha, according to Brom. So this is the witch story. Like if you like Salem witch trial-esque stories, this one is fun because this is the story that I've always wanted and the end result. So it's a really good story, cool art, cool characters and creatures. It's based in reality, but still fantasy. It's a great autumn fall read. I highly recommend it. This is Slewfoot, A Tale of Bewitchery. This is a great novel by Brom. I can't say enough about how awesome this book is. So that is Slewfoot. Let me find, here. We have a few more kids books. I have a ton. Oh, I have a ton of kids books. Okay, so this one is super cute. This is Mi Ofrenda. Where is Mi Ofrenda? Another book that combines English and Spanish together, and it's a color finding book. So it's so cute. So we start with red. So it says, my name is Amelia, Amelia, and today is Day of the Dead. I need your help collecting items for this year's ofrenda. Are you ready to help me find all we need to place on our altar? And it says, is the red picture frame hanging on the wall? So it does teach you how to. Oh, hold on. This is the book stream. The last one I saw was your coffee mug stream. Wait. This is the books. What are you saying, Sean? This is the book stream. The last one I saw was your coffee mug. Oh, I know the last one you saw was the one that I had a ton of coffee mugs. It's not my coffee mug stream. Anyway, here we go. This also continues. It says, can you look to see if the orange Kempansuchil is planted in the garden? I hope I said that correctly. The art is so cute. It's really fun. This is very, very clearly awesome way of learning colors. I love the Spanish and English together. Even as an adult, it's really nice that I can learn too. And it goes through all of the colors. I don't want to share every single page with you, but you kind of get the gist of how this book looks, how it flows, and how it feels. And it's very approachable, great for kiddos. And it does talk about Dia de Muertos as well, which is really nice and fun. I love that we're learning more and more about Dia de Muertos in Latin American countries and more, actually, and how important that holiday is. So we have Mi Ofrenda. This is a really cute color finding book for kiddos. I highly recommend it. It's $9.99 right now. $9.99. Yes. Really great. Great. Hello, Alan. It's been nice. I keep seeing everybody. It's been a while too. Like we took, I think, a pretty long break from some of these live streams. One time I tried to raise pickles. It was up dill battle. Oh no, Alan. Alan, the king of dad jokes. Alan, are you a dad? Like, have you done this for a long time with your kids? Okay, I'm gonna share with you a manga now. It's one of my favorites. This is by Junji Ito, who is I'm just a cat dad. You have lost this you need to, oh my gosh. You need to find some kids, and this will be like, your dad joke guy. I guess you're kind of dad joke guy here. So thank you. It's been nice. So we have Tombs by Junji Ito. This is a fantastic horror manga artist. He's the guy. Most people, if you know about horror manga, you know about Junji Ito. So this is an anthology. I thought it would take me a really long time to get through this. It's kind of a big book. It didn't. It was a lot of fun. So I actually got through it pretty fast. There are 11 stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stories. But they're all very different and fun. They're beautifully illustrated. Let's see if I can do this properly. Oh, I need to flip through, but I want you guys to get like a good look at all of the art here. I guess I'll be a little slower. All the stories are they kind of tap into different fears for people. So you saw just now like an underwater theme. There's spooky forest, spooky towns, haunted houses. We have some weird big metaphor ones about gossip even in the story. Disease. So Junji Ito just does a really, really good job tapping into different facets of humanity and our fear. And I feel like he just has a lot of fun with his stories. So if you're looking for a fantastic manga to read, or if you are, I guess, dabbling in manga, I highly recommend Junji Ito, but Tombs is really excellent. It's one of his newer releases in English, at least. Some of these stories were featured in his Netflix show that came out a couple years ago. But this is better. In my opinion, it's better. So check out Tombs. It's a fantastic manga read. I also have another manga that I want to share with you, because this one had its second one released not that long ago. Oh, I need to drink some coffee. This is The Night Eaters. I'm going to drink coffee now. Hold on. Sean, you have 3 cats and 1 dog? Wow, that's like I would love to have a dog, but my husband is not a fan of it. That's okay. 3 cats is a lot. So this is Night Eaters. This is by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. So if you are familiar with graphic novels or comics at all, this pair they are the creators of the award-winning comic series Monstrous. And Sana Takeda is an amazing artist. I mean, just phenomenal, beautiful watercolor art. And Marjorie Liu is a fantastic author. So we have 2 great creators here. This story is new. The beginning of the story, I think it's supposed to be a trilogy. So the second of the story just was released not that long ago. But the first one was last year, so I think the final story is going to be next year, I guess. Anyway, I don't know why I can't speak anymore. It's only been an hour. So this story is fun because it does talk about there's a lot of themes. So it's Chinese immigrants. Their parents come from a whole different world. They immigrated here to America, specifically, I believe, California. They have twins, and these kids are trying to run this shop together, but they struggle. They're really tapping into like the millennial thing. And I say that as a loving millennial myself, but they just, they're all over the place. They don't know how to run a business. And they're like, wow, this sucks. This is really hard. But their parents came from like a totally different place that was legit hard. And so they come to help their kids out, run their business, and also to just shame them for not running a business properly. So there's a bit of that theme, but then there's this horror theme. There's this spooky house that's across the street from where they live, and they have to clean it out according to their mom, who's this strict lady who's like smoking cigarettes throughout every panel. And the house ends up being this really creepy experience that the children get to. It's horrible. It's horrifying. There's a scene in here with creepy dolls, which I wish I could share, but they dig up like, a body clearly. And they're like, nope, I don't want to deal with this haunted house, but the kids do. But there's more to the story than just that. It's funny. It's dark. It's macabre. It's beautifully illustrated. Definitely check it out. Sana Takeda and Marjorie Liu are award-winning graphic novel comic book creators. So this is The Night Eaters. She Eats the Night. Book 1. Book 2 just got released, and it's 36% off right now, $15.99. It's really good. Really good price. So my next book I want to share is another cookbook. Let me see if I can find it in my carousel. And then we're almost, here. Yes. Where did it go? Here it is. So I want to emphasize that this channel doesn't just die after Halloween ends. We still exist. So Christmas time is like the time of ghost stories, whimsical magic, shadow work, that sort of thing. There's spooky stories. Christmas time used to be the prime time for spooky stories. Harry Potter is another one too, especially during Christmas. So this is one we might actually end up doing our cook along with during December because it's just perfect. So this is brand new, the Harry Potter official Christmas cookbook. I wanted to showcase this to you. It's 30% off, $19.58. Oh, I'm missing so much. Okay, Sean says the doggo is a big dog. He stays outside. I built him a doghouse with AC and heat. Buddy, that is bougie. All of our animals are either ones we got from friends or strays that wandered up. Oh. And then Alan said we recorded 2 EVPs at a ghost hunt last weekend. Ooh, that's exciting. Where did you go? I'm curious. I want to know where the ghosts are. Okay, so back to the book. We have Harry Potter Official Christmas. Let me flip through it just so you kind of get the gist of it. But join us on our other socials. Those are listed down here at Dark Side of the Library. If you like spooky stuff in general, we will be live streaming throughout the holiday season, believe it or not, and forever. So make sure to like, subscribe here. Then you'll be notified anytime we do go live on our live streams. I keep getting hair stuck in my glasses. I don't know if you can relate to that. It's horrible. They get stuck right there. And it's like pulling. Anyway, so yes, please subscribe. We'd love to see you. Comment, let us know. And then Alan said, we were at a cemetery in the country. You can comment like Sean and Alan do. So you guys are awesome. You were at a cemetery in the country. Ooh, so just like a random one that you went to? Or is it one that's pretty well known to have like some activity? And then Sean said, the last cat we got is our inbred special. She has knock knees, a bobtail, one eye, and is polydactyl. Her name is Polly. That's cute. And yes, it is original. It's fine. I think that's cute. And then Alan said one that we had activity at before. So you revisited this cemetery that you guys have had ghost activity with before. That's exciting. That's fun. I like that. I've never done ghost hunting, but I think that would be a really cool activity, especially right now. Okay, here's the Harry Potter book. I'm getting distracted. Here we go. We have drinks, it looks like. Probably ones you can add booze to if you wanted to. Lots of sweets, of course. Ooh, I'm seeing some savory dishes. You can see some scenes from Harry Potter. Ooh, okay, let's look at it in detail. Here we go. Here's our table of contents. Wow, there's a lot of savory. Breakfast, breads has a whole chapter. I love that. Soups, starters, mains, holiday themed parties. Ooh, okay. So seriously, did I just, no, I didn't. I thought I ripped it. Okay, so here we have puff pastry books. That's precious. Toad in the hole. Oh my gosh. That's original. I don't know if you guys do the egg in the hole or some people call it egg in the basket. That is so funny. I love that. These are bubbling cauldron bites. I don't know if I would, because, okay, if you dye your egg this dark, I'm wondering if it would stain your teeth, because I know that sometimes I've had, if you put too much red in your red velvet cake, it's just like not good. So I'm wondering if it does stain your teeth. It looks good, though. Here we get some scenes. These are illustrations, beautifully done. I've totally missed any YouTube comments. So if you guys have been watching on YouTube or Facebook and commenting, I'm so sorry. I've totally missed some of that. But please, I am now aware of them, of course, at our last part of the live stream. We have one pot pumpkin stew. Yum. Okay. We have another beautiful illustration. I wish this was a real place. I would visit that. I would die in it. We have Blath Hearth potatoes. Wow. It does look like a hearth. That's awesome. Okay. Moving forward, we have spicy beef skewers. There's a ton. Okay, sorry. Let's see. We have, oh my gosh, you guys have been commenting so much over here. I'm behind. I live about 300. So Sean says I live about 300 yards away from a cemetery. Basically, we're ground zero for the zombie outbreak. Well, Good luck, Sean. I believe in you. You do have a big dog. Maybe you'll have some protection. Alan says, you and your husband can come to Texas. We'll go out. That would be fun. I bet you guys do have a lot of really interesting, like, country graveyards, just ones that, just a lot of people don't know about, which would be really cool. Sean says, you can mix the egg with avocado and it will turn green. But I'm talking about the action. I mean, like, yeah, the inside would be green for sure. But what about the outside? And to make it black, I think that would be a lot of food dye. I'm wondering if you could do, you could do tea dye if you wanted to do that. Wonder if a bit like soy sauce. Oh no, Alan says you have to get back to work. Have a great day. You have a great day too, Alan. And my county has over 40 cemeteries. Wow. Okay, that's a lot. I was thinking, my brain. I haven't had enough coffee today, apparently. And then, don't go, Alan. Don't go. We're going to have to end pretty soon anyway. So it was really awesome that you stopped by. Okay. Continuing on. We have here, this is a tart. The Marauders map tart. Oh, I guess you can kind of see. That's creepy. I like it, though. That's fun. Beautiful illustration again. God, who does these? These are stunning. We have a Christmas Day rack of lamb, a roast turkey feast. You can have a Harry Potter Thanksgiving. I hadn't even thought of that, but that would be really fun. You're still like kind of in the fall season, and then you can do a Harry Potter Christmas too. Oh, that'd be fun. More magic in our lives. Totally needed. We have, Bay Baton. French fish. I hope I said that French enough. I'm really bad at speaking French. It's horrible. We have these golden snitch popcorn balls. That's pretty easy. So I'm noticing that there is a variety of different levels of recipes, easy, difficult. One thing I am seeing as well, but it's hard to notice for me at least. On the top here, there are the dietary restrictions. So it says this is vegan, for instance. The fruitcake is not gluten-free. Shame. We have, let's see if we can find a gluten-free one. There's a ton of vegan or vegetarian. Not vegan, vegetarian. There's hardly any gluten-free stuff. Oh, I found one. Come on. An ice cream pie. At least there's one, I guess. I shouldn't complain. So there are some dietary restrictive or sensitive, I guess, dishes in here. Mostly vegetarian, not a lot of gluten-free, which I'm sad about, but that's okay. Yum. I love trifles. The Tri-Wizard trifle looks especially delicious. So if you are wanting some Harry Potter themed foods for the holiday season, you can change it up. It'd be really cute. Maybe you want to do more of, instead of a family gathering, you're getting together with maybe friends instead, and you guys all love Harry Potter. Lots of people, including myself, we like to watch Lord of the Rings for the holidays. Another tradition would be maybe watching Harry Potter for the holidays. You can do that with these awesome menus in the back and make your own Harry Potter table setting and do a holiday party. So check this one out. This one's really awesome. It's 30% off right now. This is kind of a steal. It's a steal. It's a beautiful quality book. It's soft with the gold on here, and it has a lot of great recipes, savory and sweet. It's $19.58. We're going to look through, let's see, maybe one more book before we close out today. I just have to find it. I have to find the singular book that I'm missing. Here, let's do Tokyo Parade. It's a kid's book, but it's adorable, and it's kind of, I guess it's kind of more of like a New Year's book. You can do it. You can read it wherever you want, whenever you want. So this is by J.P. Takahashi, and the art is by Minako Tamiyagahara. It is similar to Where the Wild Things Are. I almost spaced, but it incorporates Japanese kami, so Japanese demons in here. So famous ones that a lot, like probably a lot of us are actually familiar with. So here it says, Eka is waiting, and the art is so cute. It's very vibrant and colorful. She listens with pointed ears for the strange sounds of the night parade. For the music and mumbling, hooting and screeching, Eka is waiting for her monsters. It's been a while since Eka's come home to Tokyo, but she wouldn't miss her favorite evening of the year. So I'm going to skip a little bit. So here they go explore with her buddy, one of the demons, through the torii gates into the dark. And by the way, I love this. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so she picks up monsters on her way. Some of these we might be kind of familiar with. We have the Foo Dogs here. We have other demons. Some of them I'm not even familiar with. But the art is so cute. It's a great way to introduce your kiddos to it's a great way to introduce your kids to maybe some Japanese culture if they're not familiar, but it's also just a great story. It's similar to Where the Wild Things Are. It's colorful and it's a really whimsical adventure that, I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's beautiful. I love it. So if you are looking for a different magical kids book that is exploring the darkness, but it's still vibrant and fun and not scary, this is a fantastic novel you should check out. It is called The Night Parade, Tokyo Night Parade, by JP Takahashi. Super cute. And it's 10% off, $17.99 right now. Highly recommend. Perfect kids book. So that concludes our live stream today. Make sure to follow so that you are notified anytime we do go live. You can also join us on our other socials at Dark Side of the Library. We'd love to see you there. We will probably be transitioning to more Christmas and holiday stuff. So you can check out our shop for Halloween inspiration. If you're still last minute shopping, I know I am. So no shame. I think a lot of us are. I feel like a lot of us are a little behind. Even my neighbors are still decorating for Halloween, or maybe some of them are like, I don't care anymore. So definitely check out our shop too at amazon.com/shop/Dark Side of the Library. Thanks so much for listening today. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, join us next time. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next live stream.